The last voicemail Chen hadn't slept properly in 3 days, not since the funeral. Sarah's parents had chosen a closed casket. Something about the condition of the body, and Maya spent the entire service staring at the glossy white coffin, unable to reconcile that her best friend was inside. The police said it was a hiking accident. Sarah had gone up the Blackwood Trail alone, slipped on wet rocks near the ridge, and fallen nearly 200 feet. A jogger found her 72 hours later. Clean. Simple. Tragic. Except nothing about it was simple. Maya lay in her dorm room, staring at her phone in the darkness. The screen's glow illuminated her exhausted face as she played the voicemail for the 100th time. It had come at 3:47 a.m. on Monday, the same night Sarah had supposedly been lying dead at the bottom of a ravine. Maya had slept through it, waking to find the notification waiting like a coiled snake. She pressed play. Sarah's voice crackled through the speaker, distorted and desperate. Maya, oh God, Maya, please, don't come looking for me. Whatever you do, don't. A sharp intake of breath. It's already inside. It wears faces, Maya. It wears them. I thought I was alone up here, but I saw. Static consumed the words. Then Sarah's voice returned, barely a whisper. Check the photos. The ones I sent last week. Count the people. Count them carefully. The line went dead with a sound like breaking glass. Maya had checked the photos immediately. Sarah had sent a dozen pictures from her weekend camping trip. Scenic shots of the mountains, a selfie by the campfire, a group photo with some hikers she'd met on the trail. 6 people total, all smiling. Maya had studied each face, but found nothing unusual. Just strangers being friendly. She'd shown the photos to the police, but they dismissed them as irrelevant. An accident was an accident. But then, on Tuesday night, exactly 24 hours later, her phone buzzed at 3:47 a.m. Another voicemail from Sarah's number. Maya's hands had trembled as she listened. This time, Sarah's voice was calmer, almost resigned. You didn't count carefully enough. Look at the third photo, the one with the sunset behind us. There are 7 people, Maya. But when I took the picture, there were only 6. A pause filled with ragged breathing. It stood behind Mark, perfectly still. I didn't see it until I looked at the photo later that night. And by then it was sitting across from me at the campfire, wearing Mark's face, smiling with Mark's smile. But Mark was already gone. Maya had pulled up the photo with shaking fingers. She'd counted, recounted. 6 people. Definitely 6. Sarah was wrong. She had to be wrong. Maybe the fall had happened differently. Maybe Sarah had been running from something, hallucinating, experiencing some kind of psychotic break before the accident. That would explain everything. Except Sarah's number had been disconnected immediately after her death. The phone had been destroyed in the fall. So how was Maya receiving these calls? Wednesday night, 3:47 a.m. Maya didn't sleep. She sat in bed, phone clutched in both hands, waiting. When it buzzed, she answered immediately. Hello? Sarah? Nothing but static, and beneath it, something that might have been breathing, or wind through trees, or whispers in a language that predated words. Then Sarah's voice cut through. It followed me home, Maya. I thought I escaped. I drove 12 hours straight, didn't stop, kept checking the rearview mirror. But it was already in my apartment when I got there, sitting in my chair. Slowly, she turned her head toward the dorm room window. The curtains were open, and in the glass, she could see her own reflection staring back. Dark hair, exhausted eyes, pale skin. Normal. But as she watched, her reflection smiled. Maya wasn't smiling. The reflection raised one hand and waved. Maya screamed, dropping the phone, scrambling backward until she hit the wall. The phone continued to speak in Sarah's voice. It learns quickly. It's been practicing being you. studying your mannerisms, your speech patterns, the way you bite your lower lip when you're nervous. You're doing it right now, aren't you? It knows because it's been watching you for days. Ever since the funeral. What do you want? Maya sobbed. I'm trying to warn you. The photos, go back to them. The first one I sent. The landscape shot of the trail entrance. Zoom in on the tree line. With trembling fingers, Maya grabbed her phone and opened the photo. She zoomed in on the dense forest bordering the trail. At first, she saw nothing but shadows and branches. Then her eyes adjusted and she saw it, a figure standing motionless between two pines. Tall, impossibly thin. Its face was a blur, as if the camera couldn't quite focus on it, but she could make out what looked like a smile, too wide, stretching toward ears that seemed to extend too far back. It was there from the beginning, Sarah's voice continued, waiting at the trailhead. I walked right past it. And now it's there with you. It's been you before, practicing your reflection, learning to move like you, sound like you. By tomorrow it will be perfect. And then the real you won't be needed anymore. How do I stop it? Maya's voice cracked. You can't. I couldn't. That's why I'm calling. These aren't voicemails, Maya. I'm not dead, not entirely. It keeps us. Somewhere cold and dark. I can feel dozens of others here, all of us calling out to the people we loved, trying to warn them. But no one ever listens in time. The lights in Maya's room flickered. In the window, her reflection had moved closer to the glass, pressing its palms against the surface from the inside. The real Maya was across the room. This wasn't reflection anymore. It's almost midnight, Sarah whispered. You have until 3:47. That's when it completes the transition. That's when you'll trade places. You'll be here in the dark with the rest of us, and it will be out there, living your life. Your parents won't know. Your friends won't suspect. It will be you, perfectly, and you'll be here, screaming voicelessly, watching through its eyes as it slowly replaces everyone you've ever loved. Sarah, please, run, Maya. It can only wear one face at a time. While it's you in the reflection, you can still escape. Run now. Get to somewhere crowded, somewhere with witnesses. Don't let it catch you alone. And whatever you do, the voice broke up into static, then returned one final time. Don't look at any reflections. Don't give a doorway back to you. The call ended. Maya looked at the window. The thing wearing her face pressed harder against the glass, and tiny cracks began to spread across the surface. Its mouth moved, forming words. Let me out. Maya grabbed her keys and ran. She burst into the hallway, not bothering to close the door behind her. The dorm was silent, everyone asleep at 3:30 a.m. Her footsteps echoed as she sprinted toward the stairs. Behind her, she heard the sound of shattering glass. She didn't look back. Maya crashed through the exit door into the night air, cold October wind biting her face. The campus was deserted, street lamps casting pools of yellow light across empty pathways. She ran toward the main library. It was open 24 hours during midterms. People would be there. Witnesses. Safety. Her phone buzzed. Against every instinct, she looked. How will you know who to trust? She looked up and froze. Standing beneath a street lamp 50 feet ahead was herself. Same pajamas, same desperate expression, same terror in her eyes. The other Maya was crying, reaching out. Help me, it called. Please, something's chasing me. Maya backed away, then heard footsteps behind her. She spun around to find another version of herself emerging from the shadows near the dormitory. Then another appeared from behind a parked car, and another stepped out from behind a tree. For Mayas, all perfect copies, all closing in. Which one is real? They asked in unison, their voices harmonizing perfectly. Are you even real anymore? Maybe you've already been replaced. Maybe you're the reflection now, and you just don't remember. Maya's mind fractured. She looked down at her hands. Were they her hands? She couldn't remember what her hands looked like. Had they always had that scar on the left thumb? Or was that new? Her phone buzzed again. Sarah's voice, one final message. 3:47. It's time. All 4 copies smiled and stepped forward. Maya opened her mouth to scream, but no sound came out. She had no voice anymore. Slowly, she felt herself becoming transparent, fading, as one of the others solidified, became more real, more there. The last thing Maya heard before the darkness took her was her own voice, the thing's voice now, calling campus security. "Hi, yes, I'd like to report something strange. I was jogging, and I think I saw someone who needs help." And then she was nowhere, suspended in freezing darkness, surrounded by whispers. Sarah's voice found her. "Welcome. Now we wait together. Eventually, it will use your face to lure someone you love. And you'll have to call them, try to warn them. But they never listen in time." Maya tried to scream, but she had no mouth anymore, only the memory of one. And a phone that would ring at 3:47 a.m. every night, forever. And a phone that would ring at 3:47 a.m. every night, forever.